Was the TWAB too long and you didn't want to read it? I got you. First up, we have the community event starting next week called Improving the Eliksni Quarter. The way it's going to work is by us getting captain's coins from around the system, which they drop from things like destination chests, lost sectors, public events, and Ketchcrash, along with the expedition activity. It will also come from King's Fall, Dares of Eternity, Strikes, Crucible, and Gambit. The Scallywag title requirements are being updated. This includes the amount of ruffians needing to be defeated down to 10 from 50. Vendor upgrades required down to 14 from 23. You will only need to change and promote a first mate once for each one. And you will no longer need to do 9 triumphs to get the seal. You only need to do 8. Now we move on to the lengthy Crucible changes. Here they say how they want each playlist to feel. So you can pause and look at it if you want. One interesting thing is they say they want Trials of Osiris to feel like a high-stakes Pro-Am tournament. I thought it was interesting. Here they go over playlist changes that they're making in the Crucible and the matchmaking that each playlist is going to use. So Quickplay is going to be comprised of Clash and Control and will be using skill-based matchmaking. The weekly Rotator and Rumble will be using connection-based matchmaking. Competitive division, which we will touch on later, is comprised of Survival, Rift, and Showdown and uses skill-based matchmaking, but very strict skill-based matchmaking. Crucible Labs will be 3v3 Rift with asymmetric maps and uses connection-based matchmaking, and private matches are receiving no change. Here, Bungie shows the populations for each game mode. Take a look at that if you'd like to. Bungie's also adding a new title for competitive called Glorious. Next season, we're also getting engram focusing from Shax, and he's using a new system where the engrams are just in the vendor and they don't have to be in our inventory explicitly. Here are some of the weapons that will be focusable, and here is an image if you'd like a sneak peek. Next, we are moving on to Iron Banner, along with a new game mode next season called Fortress. The game mode is described as zone control, but they say the real fun begins when Keitel gets involved, and in the image there, it looks like there's a capture point with some turrets and some Cabal. So, no idea how it's going to play, but I'm definitely excited to see whatever the hell that's going to be. And next season, we are actually getting new Iron Banner armor. New armor returning from the Taken King. And finally, they are adding fire team based matchmaking. So that means if you're a solo and you're playing Crucible, you probably, hopefully, shouldn't get matched with a team of 6 that'll just roll you. Further matchmaking changes. If you're absolutely cracked at the game, they're adding a thing called dynamic skill ranges, which will alleviate some of the matchmaking pain during certain times of the day. However, that's coming, they say, in January, so don't hold your breath for that. Quitter suspensions are not being removed. They've made it a little less strict and lowered the amount of suspension time among some other things, but they also tell you how long you're banned from Crucible, I guess. That's cool. They do say at the end, though, that they will be re-evaluating the need for a quitter penalty in Quickplay at all. Fingers crossed they actually remove it. Continuing with fireteam based matchmaking, they say they'll be adding it to Trials of Osiris in the future with no specific dates, and if it is done correctly, that means fire teams of 3 will only match fire teams of 3. Over the next year, we will be getting 1 new map and 2 returning maps from Destiny 2. And for the big reveal, this TWAB and coming next season, Bungie's adding a full ranked ladder to Destiny, comprised of 7 ranks, going Copper, Bronze, Silver, Gold, Platinum, Adept, and Ascendant. And they go on to describe how the ranked system will work, starting with placement matches. After completing 7 games, you will be placed into a rank based on your skill. However, next season, the highest you can be placed is Gold 3, and in future seasons, that'll change depending on your skill. Here they outline how ranking actually works, which it goes off of match outcome, whether you win or lose, if you are better than the rank you are in, how well you did in the previous match, and if your skill is just better than everybody else in your lobbies. Here they describe the rank up and D-rank system. There will be 3 subdivisions per rank, and once you go from one rank to the next, for example, Gold 1 to Platinum 3, you will have to complete a promotion series, meaning you have to win 2 out of 3 games to actually make it into that next rank. And for D ranking, if you go from Gold 3 to Silver 1, you will enter a relegation series, where you have to win 2 out of 3 games, or you will be D ranked. The ranked rewards for next season is just a multiplier to your Crucible ranks. However, they do have plans to add more rewards in the future. If anybody was worried about this, the Mida Multi-Tool Catalyst now drops from any Crucible win. I take back what I said earlier. This is probably the biggest announcement. Rose is coming back, and better than ever. It's not going to be just a normal 140 RPM hand cannon. It's actually going to be a hybrid. So it shoots 140 RPM, keeping the TTK, but allows you to move like a lightweight 150 RPM, which, if you know, no longer exists in the game outside of Sunshot. Its perk list is built from consistency perks. It doesn't have an origin trait, but it does roll with random grips, and the way you earn it is by completing an intro quest to comp and then doing a challenge every week on each character. So expect this thing to absolutely terrorize Crucible. I see this absolutely as spare rations coming back. Going into future ranked rewards, they are expecting cosmetics, so I would assume emblems, maybe ornaments. And for the known issues, seems like duality is broken again. And of course, if you're on Stadia, Lamau, save your character so you don't lose everything. Thank you for listening to this TWAB. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you around.